What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And I want to welcome you to another episode of the Sound of the Rain podcast, episode 4. And I am the Sound of the Rain, your host. And this podcast, if you're not familiar with it, is the building of a brand in public. So you are witnessing a musician that goes from making music in his bedroom all the way to becoming the owner of a multi-million-dollar enterprise, which is the Sound of the Rain. I want to thank everybody that has been tuning into the show, that has been giving feedback, leaving reviews. I truly do appreciate it. It's greatly helping the show to grow. So I just want to say thank you so much. So episode 4, today's episode is Tools of the Trade. So I thought that it was very important, and in addition to me sharing my journey, sharing what I'm doing, I also want to give the opportunity to kind of provide some information and some knowledge to people that might be upcoming doing the same thing that I am. So this podcast is geared towards people that are into entrepreneurship. So you don't necessarily have to be a musician or into music, but if that is your thing, this is a good place where you can kind of get an idea, or at least this episode, of where I start, what I use, and the tools that I use and how I use them to help, kind of meet my goals. So I want to start off with this podcast in particular. There are tons and tons of different podcast hosts out there. My previous Sound of the Rain podcast, I used Buzzsprout. But as I started over, I'm currently using Anchor. That's spelled Anchor. So this episode is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid to tell you guys about this, but Anchor is an awesome tool because it's absolutely free. So say you're looking to start a podcast and you don't have any money, or money is not something that you're trying to put into it or spend money right now. This is definitely the move for you. Now, there might be a lot of different cons and pros out there for someone that's really deep into podcasting. But for me, as I've been using Anchor, I personally love it. The interface is seamless. It's very simple. I don't have a lot of bells and whistles to worry about. I get the information, I give the information, and it displays to my users. So this is what I use is part of my journey. Anchor.fm is where I go to create my podcast. And that's how you're listening to the Sound of the Rain podcast. And it's, once again, it's absolutely free. So even taking it from there, I have to record my podcast on something now. With Anchor, I believe you can actually use your phone to record your podcast. You can use your headset, but I currently use a computer. So the computer that I have is a MacBook Air, and I got this MacBook Air when President Biden was giving out the stimulus checks, or when that whole process was going on. I used mine to purchase a new computer, and I got a discount on it through my job at the time. So that was really cool. So I previously had a MacBook Pro 2011. It's really old. I still have it and it still works, but it's not efficient for what I was trying to do. I was running into too many issues, and the software, I wasn't able to update it. So it's not something that I could currently use right now as far as making music and stuff. But you got to start where you're at. That's one thing that I want to stress. It's very important to accept what you have and where you're at, and realize, this is okay. Matter of fact, if somebody just has a phone, if somebody just has a tape recorder, if these are the ways that you currently have access to, you pour into those things as if it's the best computer in the world, or the best studio in the world. That song that I have coming out, This Beat's Whack. Not to give up. Well, if you're listening to this podcast, you're invested into the brand. You're concerned about it, or you like it. So the song "This Beat's Whack," that's essentially the moral of the story. There's kind of a message behind the song, and the message behind the song is about taking the things that you have and making the best out of them, and using them to the fullest of their abilities. So at this point in my journey, like I said, these are the things that I have access to, and stressing about what I don't have it's not going to help me, but maximizing the skills and the talents that I have for the things that I do have, that's what's going to help me to make it to the next level. Because when somebody's listening to a song that I put out, they're not going to ask me, did you record that in GarageBand, or did you record that in Logic Pro, or did you record that in Pro Tools? They're just going to be like, oh, that song is hot, or oh, that song is trash. I've seen people shoot videos with iPhones, and if they didn't say I shot this with an iPhone, I would have had no idea. So like I said, it's not about what you have, it's about what you do with the things that you have. So like I said, I've got a MacBook Air. I'm not sure the year, maybe a 2020. It was the newest one at the time. But every year they update them and advance them. So, mine is quickly, becoming obsolete, if you will. The microphone that I use, it's a USB microphone. I bought it off Amazon. It was $29.99, and I forgot the name of the brand, but when I was typing the notes for the show, the name of the brand wasn't even relevant. Like, there were really no bells and whistles as far as within the description of the microphone. It's just that it was a condenser microphone, and if you don't know what that means, then it ain't even worth, even worrying about, but it's a microphone that I plug into my computer via the USB port, and I get to recording. Now, it's a microphone that was probably built or made for podcasting, but it's the same microphone that I use to record music. And matter of fact, I'm looking to upgrade my equipment, and that's something that I'll talk about later on in the episode, but I specifically have to record at least This Beat's Whack with this microphone, because there's a line in the song that I say, I recorded this song on a $30 mic on top of a shoebox, popper stopper on a light. Like the popper stopper I have to go over my microphone, which I'm not using right now, but it's actually attached to a lamp, to a night lamp. So I'm making it do what it do. So the keyboard that I have, as far as what I use to produce with, I have an Akai MPK Mini 3. Now this was $99. It was pretty inexpensive as far as MIDI controllers go, but you can honestly, there's beats that I've made where I use the keyboard on my actual computer to play the beat out. But the Akai MPK Mini, I love it. I don't know how to play the keyboard. I know how to play keys. I use a lot of loops. I manipulate loops. I do have some chords that I have access to. I do play things. Matter of fact, I play some in This Beat's Whack. I do some playing in that on the instrumental or on the beat. So those are things that I use as far as in my production. The software that I use is something called GarageBand. Now, if you have an Apple computer, GarageBand is a free software that comes with it. So there's an upgraded version of it, or its bigger brother, if you will, something called Logic Pro, which I would love to upgrade to, but it's not anything that I have the funds for right now. So I'm currently using GarageBand, but I've actually, especially as far as the producing goes, I really was feeling limited within GarageBand. So I've started to learn how to use the software that came with my MPK Mini, which is called MPC Beats. And there's a bigger learning curve over that, but I'm able to use MPC Beats within GarageBand as a plugin. And then there's also another plugin I've learned about, something called Arcade. And that's actually been something that's been pretty cool. So, there was a time where GarageBand was the most foreign thing to me. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where to start. And now I just get on there and just, boom, start doing my thing. So it's really a matter of practice makes better. So I got my popper stopper. It's attached to a light. Another program that I use is iMovie. That's something that, and matter of fact, if you have an iPhone, GarageBand is on iPhone as well. There's songs that I've made that I've made the entire beat on my phone in GarageBand. a big chunk of my videos, I mean a lot of them, I've edited on my phone in iMovie, which is a free application on the iPhone. It's also a free program on the Mac computers, and that's what I use as well to edit my videos. Matter of fact, at first I liked the doing it better on my phone because I was more familiar with it and it was kind of really hands-on. And so as I got familiar with the using it on my computer and learned how to do it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. I would matter of fact say that I'm beginning to hit the ceiling with iMovie and ready to upgrade to its big brother Final Cut Pro. But that's something that in the future, when I have the means to upgrade to that, that's definitely something that I will do. But right now, that's the tool that I have, and I use it, and I'm going to maximize it to the best of my abilities. So, one beautiful thing about Sound of the Raign and what we're doing here and the brand that we're building, there's no overhead as far as materials. So I don't have to pay for fabric. I don't have to pay for food. I don't have to pay for packaging materials. I don't have to pay to ship stuff off to people. Only thing that I have to pay with is time. And for me personally, that's been the biggest challenge that I've been running into. I work a full-time job. I'm a husband. I'm a father. And that's the majority of where my time is spent at. A lot of the songs that you've heard me record, I've literally recorded them on my lunch break. I'm talking about, for me, it's a matter of getting where you fit in. It's not like I wake up one day, and these are habits that I need to change. I think it'd be better and more productive if I had like a set schedule as far as when I do things. But as far as creativity, sometimes you're just not feeling it. Sometimes you're not in the mood. I've been wanting to record this episode for the past couple of days, and, mentally I just wasn't there or just didn't feel like it. So right now I just got off of work. I didn't have the intention on recording this, when I woke up in the morning. Or there's times where the past couple of episodes, I recorded them literally on my lunch break. Like I get off work, I work from home, so as soon as I get off work, I jump on my computer, start recording, and boom, that's it. So it's not like I have a day where I go to the studio or I'm doing this or I'm doing that. So it's really about time management, and really being able to the tasks that I do have, kind of streamlining them. Because I think that's what's going to make things more productive for me. Because at the end of the day, as much as I love doing the podcast, I love it, I'm here to make music, and so I haven't even recorded This Beat's Whack. I was supposed to record it last weekend and I didn't get around to it. Like I said, it's a matter of sometimes just not feeling like it. For me, I get in my head sometimes and I'm thinking it's not going to come out the way that I want it to sound. And then I'm like, well, I won't even try to record it then, or wondering, how it'll come out. Will what I have in my head, relay or come out the same way? So, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. That's why I say, as far as doing stuff, just do it. Like this podcast, when I did the first episode, I go back and listen to it. I cringe because of all the ums and ahs and the stops and how airiness the audio sounded. It just sounded bad. But it was very important for me to just jump out there and do that, because as I did it, it gave me the momentum to continue. And it's also giving me a sense of accountability doing the podcast, because I know if there are people listening and they're like, okay, this guy said he's going to record This Beat's Whack last week, and then I get on here and say, yeah, I still haven't recorded it, So, this is part of the journey. Sometimes you're not going to feel like doing stuff that you you need to do, but for me, recording the song is definitely a big part of the next steps. And there are other things that I can do as well. I'm personally very excited about my YouTube channel. I'm about to do an overhaul on it, kind of rebrand it. Now that I have more of a focus on what my niche is, which is building in public, the channel is going to go from what it is now to essentially like the podcast, but kind of branched out on another level. Hopefully there'll be like video interviews. There'll be videos of me writing, videos of me producing, videos of me recording, stuff like that. So I'm definitely very excited about that. So those are essentially, the materials that I said I have. I have the MacBook. I've got my USB microphone. Oh, my headphones. These are headphones that when I got my first computer, I was a student at Full Sail University, and the computer I got, I was going for music production, and the computer and my headphones were part of my part of the curriculum, so part of the tools that they sent me. And the headphones are monitoring headphones, meaning that they don't add anything to the sound. They don't add bass. They don't, add any color. They give you a representative sound so that when you're going in there and you're mixing and you're adjusting things, it's going to give you a precise sound. Now, speakers, I think, are monitoring speakers are definitely something that I would love to have one day, something to invest in. But once again, that's not what I have at the time. So I'm working with what I have. I'm working with the headphones. And that's another thing I want to talk about. There are things that I would love to have to increase the quality of my work. And then as I begin to start making money, that's when I'll be able to pour back into the brand and back into the business to begin to increase the quality and streamline the content. So if somebody pays me $500 for a verse, or I make X amount of dollars off the podcast, I'm going to buy a new microphone. I'm going to buy a digital audio interface. Not a digital audio interface, but I'm going to buy an audio interface, something that I would use to plug the microphone up to, so it wouldn't be just running through the USB. I would be buying some monitoring speakers. I'd eventually like to upgrade my computer because of the storage on there. I got the, let me see, I like 256 gigabytes, I think, of storage when I bought it. But that went or goes very fast. So I, getting another computer. But see, like I'm saying, these aren't things that I need like at this very second, at this very moment. There's a lot that I can do with the brand and with the content that I'm making, with the things that I have now. I would like to record Brainstorm with the new microphone, but if I'm not able to, then I'm not, I'm still going to put it out. And that's another thing, man. You got to not worry about what people are saying. There's going to be people that are coming at you about the quality of what you have and, oh, you should do this and you should do that. Sometimes you can't do this and you can't do that. It's not a matter of because you don't want to, it's because you don't have the ability or you don't know how to do it, So I'm encouraging my listeners to just enjoy the ride, be patient with me, like I don't have the mindset of I want to produce every beat that I rap over for the rest of my life. That's not it. I would love to just have production from other people. The thing is that at this particular time, it's better for me because business-wise, I run into so many roadblocks with beats that I had that were made by other people that have put a hindrance on the things that I've done, like Crazy World. I have that song's got 13,000 plays on YouTube, and when people were hearing it, I had tons of people like, oh man, I'm gonna add this to my playlist, and it's not even available to play or to stream on streaming sites, so if there wasn't any issues with that beat, I could have been making some money off that song. Even if it wasn't a lot, it would have been more than I've made off of any of the songs that I've ever put out, and that song was like like lightning in a bottle. I don't think I can make another song like that, because the circumstances, it wasn't anything I was even like on a mission to do. I heard the beat, I heard the sample, Crazy Bone is my favorite artist. That was the first thing that came to my mind as soon as I heard World's Gone Crazy, and I did it, but the business side of it, getting that sample cleared. I've spoken with the producer. It's been like playing tag, trying to get him to let me know where the sample came from. He's never gotten back to me. I don't know what's up. I'm not gonna assume anything, but that part leaves me stuck. And then even if I did find out, who did the sample, who's to say I would be able to get it cleared? I don't have the money to do that, and rather than just put it out, because I hear people put stuff out on digital streaming platforms with samples in it like all the time, and I think a lot of that stuff just flies under the radar. Nobody might ever hear it. It's my luck that if the second that I did it, it'd be the moment whatever artist that is be like, yo man, that's my that's my song, and you to pull down and get me in some type of legal litigation, and so I ain't even going through all that, so that's I'm trying to kind of keep myself as free as from those type of things as I can, because I don't really, I'm about growing, and I'm not trying to have any setbacks, especially this early, so what I want y'all to do, if you're listening to this on YouTube, leave a comment below. Are you familiar? Do you make music? Are you familiar with any of the tools that I've mentioned? Do you have any of them? Are there any that you can suggest that you think I might use? Let me know down in the comments below. And one thing I like to do as we begin to wrap things up, I've been going over my old catalog of songs that I've been putting out. And I was listening to them, and I was looking at the numbers in DistroKid, and a big part of the issue or problem that I've been having is that a lot of the music that I put out, no one had ever heard it before, no one's ever heard it. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start sharing these songs. I've gotten a lot of new listeners. I've gotten a new audience. And so as I continue to build the brand, I'm gonna reintroduce these songs to people. And so the first song is gonna be the first song that I put back out when I came out of retirement in 2021. It's a song called The Calm. And it's produced by Don P via Anno Domini Beats. And so this particular song, it was really a test to get my groove back, to get back into the mixing, the mastering, just kind of get in the overall feel. This was me trying to take my stab at the whole nerdcore thing. And so it was actually supposed to be the intro to my mixtape, Attack of the Red Ranger Volume 1, which is something I definitely would like to revisit. The song had like a story or a theme to it. If you listen to the lyrics, like when I listen to it, I can see everything that I'm saying in my head. This is the calm before the storm. You have been warned. Adjacent to Jason, I have been born. Replacement for Jason, Red Ranger form. Read the dead Zed flared. I got the Red Ranger form. So I'm making those references to Power Rangers. And I could just kind of see the story or the way that it was kind of, playing out. And so that was supposed to kind of set the tone for the mixtape. That's why it was called The Calm. And so that was the first song that I put out. And a fun fact, there's a voice on there for a character called the Oracle, and that's actually my wife. I actually got a video footage of her when she was recording it. But yeah, so that's definitely a great song. So I want y'all to go on to streaming platforms. Matter of fact, I'll put a link in the show notes to the song for Spotify and for Apple Music. But the name of the song is The Calm by Sounds of the Rain. And another thing I'd like you to do is I want you to take the time, if you can, it would be greatly appreciated. Leave a review, leave a comment. If you're on Apple, give me a rating. Say, hey, I love this podcast, or, hey, this could be better. Give me some feedback. It definitely would help with getting the podcast out there. Share it to your friends or people that you feel, might be interested in it. It's definitely going to help get the word out there. And as we continue to grow, we're just going to be able to do more and more things, because if time is freed up for me, then I'll be able to pour more into this. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing that we're working on here is the music, and so I definitely look forward to putting a lot of that out. So yeah, go ahead and check out The Calm on all streaming services. Also, don't forget to leave a review and to share the podcast with your friends. We also do have a link that if you want to support the show financially, you can subscribe. So there's 3 tiers. There's 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, and $9.99 a month. And then what that does is it just helps goes to support the show, and it's definitely appreciated. Anything that you can, we definitely thank you. So thank you so much for your time. Until the next episode, please tune in. Sound of the Rain. Peace.